Hello, welcome to Weekly Recap. I am your host Vivian Kabono. This is the show that brings you a recap of what has been happening locally and internationally in this week. This show is brought to you by NewsunplugKE. Kindly subscribe, like, share, and comment. Stay tuned. Hope you're doing good. My week has been good. How has it been your week? Talk to us, comment and tell us. Your week has been good. I hope you're doing good and so am I. Yeah, but wait. Joy imekuwa ikichoma watu. Nyi watu mnaitana sunshine. Sunshine out here. Hey, hapana msiwaamshe. Today is okay. At least the environment is getting better. I mean the weather is getting better. But hey, jua kwanza Nairobi. I can imagine the people down at coast. How are you people surviving? Anyway, Mshezoya, welcome a lot to Weekly Recap, and we got a lot of stories, and we will start our story with Calvin Kiptum. So we covered the story. Actually, you can check out our recent Weekly Recap videos, and we covered Calvin Kiptum's death. It was quite unfortunate. 24 years, a father of two, and he was an international marathoner. I mean, he's like the second fastest man. In 2023, he won the London Marathon, and he was doing so good. In fact, in April, he was expecting to have a very big race, but unfortunately, he died in an accident, and he was driving, and even his coach died in that accident. Quite unfortunate. And but they also covered about he had bought a land and the government, okay, he was planning to jenga, unajua alikuwa anataka kujenga like hii mwaka tu later this year, but unfortunately he passed on, so the government decided to take the initiative and build him a house, actually a multi-million house, and it was actually supposed to be completed by within the 40 days of the morning, and all was going well. So there has been a lady that amejitokeza, 22 years of old, saying that she has a kid of Calvin who is 1 year and 7 months, around 1 year and 7 months, and it's a baby girl. So Kevin Kiptum is the biological father, allegedly, okay? And she says that Kevin has been taking care of that kid the whole time. In fact, the day of his death, allegedly he had called her to confirm how she's doing together with the kid, and even promised to send her some money for the upkeep. And now she was actually saying that burial should not happen. That burial should not happen because the family has refused to acknowledge. Now Calvin Kiptum's family, remember he had a wife, two kids, right? So the family has refused to recognize her as part of the family, and has even refused to put the name of the kid in the eulogy, right? And she also claims that she wants to be part, and she wants to inherit that multi-million house that will be constructed, okay? And as the kid, huyo mtoto wa Calvin anafaa aingizwe kwa hiyo familia vibaya sana. Vitu zenye watoto wa Calvin hao wawili wanapewa pia yeye akuwe nazo. Okay, I feel her side of the story if it's true. But the problem is if this is all about clout. I don't know. And she went actually, I don't think it is clout because she took this case very seriously. She went in front of the Eldoret magistrate, Justice Amanda, and she was claiming that the body should not even be buried first. Everything should be post for them to get the DNA test, okay? So DNA itolewa kwa mwili ya Kiptum for them to confirm if the child is actually mtoto wake. And according to venye alikuwa anasema ati mazishi isiendelee kwanza, the judge said no, that cannot happen because a lot of money has been invested, and especially because the plans of the burial are in the advanced stage, so we cannot stop the burial. But hizo zingine tutafuata, and you know this lady came through with the lawyer, so it is gonna be big. And okay, mimi sitaki kusema ati I hope mtoto atakuwa wake, but at the same time I hope this is not clout and everything, you feel me? But we have seen this a lot. When people die, especially prominent people and rich people, when they die, there's always somebody somewhere who says, apana nilikuwa na mtoto wake, nini. I don't know, probably they want part, but kama Kiptum alikuwa take care of the kid, well anyway, lakini the point is watu wa stick kwa lane. We hapana, watu wa stick. Can you imagine venye wife ya Kiptum says ana feel, you feel me, like mimi nimekupenda, nimekupatia watoto, and then after you die na kuja kupata kumbe kulikuwa na dem mwingine na hadi mmeongea na siku yenye ulipass. Hiyo nayo ni touching sana, but who are we to say anything? Moving on to our next story. So there has been chaos in Meru when a 27 years old dude or man killed the mother and the grandmother. Oh wait, what? Mother and grandmother, like at a go. Okay, so this dude, Jamlek Mureithi is 27 years old, but allegedly he was mentally disturbed. I mean, he has been having a problem, and according to his father, Ruben, they had tried to fix this problem. We were taking him to the hospital. Ona shida yake ni gani? Na akapewa dawa, lakini inaonekana his problem, it goes too deep, it's intense, and they couldn't find the solution to the problem. Okay, you follow me? So Jamlek has always, for over 5 years, amekuwa akisema ati ataua, mimi nitaua mtu. I will, you see the way you say mimi nitaua mtu. So that was Jamlek for you. For the last 5 years, he had been saying that he will kill somebody. Okay, it's quite unfortunate that the mother and the grandmother were the victims. So according to the system, according to the system, she says that Jamlek they have been living in fear because Jamlek has been making these threats, and she's glad that her children were not the victims. Okay, it's not celebrating kwa ubaya, but okay, at least watoto wake hawakuuliwa. So this is what happened. So Jamlek alienda kwa babake Ruben now, Mr. Ruben alikuwa ndo tajua, and he goes there frustrated. I'm assuming how frustrated, because you can imagine if you're about to kill somebody, unawaka moto, ako hapo anawaka moto. So he goes to the father and he's like, you know what, these family members are accusing me of smoking bang. Mimi uvuta bangi, mimi wanasema ati mimi uvuta bangi. Hey, leo nitaua mtu. So actually Jamlek even tried to punch the father but missed. So Ruben punched him back, okay? And Jamlek sasa akatoroka kwa sababu of course unajua amegongwa, sasa akatoroka. Ruben thought ameenda kwa shamba, to the farm. Hey, kumbe Jamlek didn't go to the farm. He went to the house and killed his grandmother, 90 years old, Tiritha, I think it's Tiritha Mureithi, yeah? Killed his grandmother. And when Ruben sasa venye alisikia loud bang, akifikiria mtu ameenda kwa shamba, kumbe akasikia loud bang, kwenda akapata mama yake. Now, it's like the grandmother of Jamlek and the mother of Ruben found her sprawled on the ground, her lifeless body there. Can you imagine? 90 years old manze, grandma. And he feared for his life. So he ran to go to report that Jamlek had killed the mother. Only for chaos again. Watu tena wakasikia manduru. Ati Jamlek tena ameua mama yake. 50 years old. Okay, it's so unfortunate. So unfortunate, manze. And I don't know. Okay, at least he's mentally unstable. It's not to justify it. At least he's mentally stable, because if he did it on his right mind. But at the same time, man say, what were we? I can imagine the pain that family is going through. First of all, this Jamlek is not okay. So probably he's not even remorseful. He does not understand what is going on. There's the mother, there's the grandmother. What are we pass? At a go. Mungu tu awape comfort. And actually, there's also another story. But now this is funny. This is not even funny. This is madness. Okay, I don't know how to call it. Yeah, this is pure sijui. Imagine a dude, 36 years old, killed the mother because of a plate of ugali. Allegedly, the mother had cooked bananas and he wanted ugali, and he killed him. And he killed her. Hey, jamani, where is the world headed? Unajua mamako manzi amekubeba for 9 months, amekunyonyesha, amekufanyia nini? Ameshinda kuzunguka nawe for 9 years. Alafu kuna vitu zingine tu manzi zinakwanga out of this world, but we won't say much. And now moving on to our next story on the western part of the country. So Ian Lawrence was a 17-year-old, and quite unfortunate, very unfortunate actually. He lost his life, and this happened after a gang of his friends, allegedly, people known to him, killed him. So Ian was coming from a night vigil, disco matanga. You know, the disco matanga, it's very popular in the western region. So he's coming from a disco matanga, and then he met, actually he was with his cousin Joseph Auma, and they met with a group of neighbors. Actually, they are friends, okay? And this dude started beating them, okay? Actually, according to Joseph, now who was the witness, they were walking home, and around 10 p.m. they were walking back home, and these dudes came to attack them, and they were begging for them not to kill them. Actually, Joseph was the first one to be attacked, and luckily hawakumaliza. And then Ian started being beaten, and he escaped like 1 meter. After 1 meter, they wakakuja tena wakamalizia. It's very unfortunate. 17 years old. He was in St. Patrick's School, around those regions, and actually his mother is going through a lot, man. Say like Josephine Auma is going through a lot, and saying that was her that born, and he was the only hope of the family. He was Form 1. Form 1 manze. He might be 17. Okay, you know, depends, but he's a Form 1 student. So that means it's a really, really young person, and being killed by their friends. And they were actually begging for them not to kill them. You feel me? Okay, it's so traumatizing. And mamake tu amesema ati yeye alisikia tu wasi wameanza kukuja, like people started like young men watoto wa in-laws wake, they came wailing saying that Ian is dead, and she was really traumatized because, oh my goodness, I mean, this is a Form 1 kid, and Ian alikuwa amekula sapa na wao, walikula sapa akaendea disco matanga, only for the news to reach home that Ian is no longer living. Can you imagine? And after the wailing, akaenda to the location where allegedly Ian was, and akapata it was actually true. Ian was lifeless. Can you imagine seeing your mmekuwa na mtoi 3 hours ago or something? I mean, mmekula naye sapa. Ameenda disco matanga. Now it's very popular, especially unajua men are allowed to go to these things, especially, you feel me? Wameenda na hata hakuwa peke yake, alikuwa na mkuzo wake. Ai manze. And then you find him dead, and he was the only hope. It's very, very, very unfortunate. And Aki, by the way, fortunately, so the Nyumba people, the Nyumba Kumi elder around the area, well, in Zamsako, and they have got 4 dudes, by the way, when you were part of the gang. And I hope, as much as they're young, I don't know what their motive was, but they really don't, because it was not theft. From one, hata hana simu, hana kitu yoyote. So I don't think the motive was stealing or something of the sort. And the way walikuwa wanamchapa, like if you have to beat somebody to death, you must have some other agendas. And honestly, I'm just praying for Ian to rest in peace, and most importantly, Josephine akuwe tu na peace, na akuwe tu na comfort, elewe ime happen, justice zipatikane. Pia also for like the Joseph, the cousin. You can imagine seeing your cousin being killed. Also for him, I know he's going through a lot of trauma. I mean, that picture. Can you imagine if unaenda labda kwa mortuary, you see like the way we bid our loved ones goodbye by like viewing the body. That's the last thing that for you to let go. If you view the body in a sticking in your mind, especially for, you know, if you're not used to these things, or I don't know, I don't want to say faint-hearted, like bad, it seems strong sana. Come in a sticking in away for that long. Ebu imagine seeing the real action. Yeah? Mtu mlikuwa mnatembea naye mkichapa naye story. Just a minute, and then the next minute is no longer there. Oh God, it's traumatizing, honestly. But Mungu tu ako in control, and we pray kutakuwa na peace na kila kitu. But manze, hapana, hata kama uko na beef na mtu, ama talk to us, my dear. What do you think, right? Is it supposed to be like that? There's a way you can handle things without having to be very violent. Not even very violent, without having to kill somebody. That's totally wrong, honestly. Before we go to on a short break, this is not bad news, trust you me. It's about Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, our former president of Kenya. And amenyamaza, by the way. Actually, he's been trending. There was a story I was saying where he was saying that at times I just watch things unaona tu vitu zikiharibika and you're wondering, should I cry? And you just laugh it off. Yeah, it was it was trending. I think it was a tweet or something, or on his social media platforms. But that message is very true. You see, when your life is literally falling apart, you just look and you're like, oh my goodness. Especially if you do not, there's one thing. It's one thing to be in control or having control of things, and they're not going as you want. And there's another way things are just out of your control. You do not want them to go the way they are, and they're out of your control, so you cannot handle them. So your message is ukweli, if things are falling apart, you just look at them and be like, you know what, kila kitu itakuwa poa, bora unakula, bora you're healthy, bora uko na manguo, na bora uko na rent. Hizo zingine, na hata kama huna, we bora uhai. Si Wilipole aliwaambia Wilipose, bora uhai. Anyway, acha tukue serious. So Uhuru Kenyatta alikuwa ameenda, he had gone down to Dar es Salaam. Actually, he was having a meeting with the Tanzanian President Samia Suluhu in the State House at Zanzibar. So this was after Uhuru Kenyatta had attended a forum. Yes, a very big forum in Dar es Salaam that was talking about social economic growth and most importantly, cultural integration. So it's quite good. In fact, you see, but it seems like this man is still doing his thing. Before me, he's still in the process of bado integrate na other leaders. After you retire, you nyamaza kabisa, but seems like he's still kwa machom, bado anatembea hapa na pale. And they were having a meeting with Samia Suluhu. I'm quite sure that it was actually a very important and also a good platform and a good time to speak, especially like, we Kenyans and Tanzanians are very close, by the way. I think in East Africa we are most close, if I'm not wrong. Other than Uganda, I think tuko closer than Tanzania. Yeah, actually it is true. Other than sisi kuwa bash about the English. What do they bash us about? Yeah, I think they think we do not have atuna adabu. Because you see, but then you see like Tanzanians, their language is very... the language is yani unaenda samahani naomba unisaidie kitu fulani. Sasa sisi wewe mimi nataka kitu fulani, yani ukienda kuoda mimi nataka huyo, huko hakuna language kama hiyo. But seems like it's actually good if our former president is still having international talks and meetings with other presidents. That's a good thing and a good sign for us as a country. We will like to not represent your visuals. What do you think? Anyway, please stay tuned. We're just going on a very short break and we'll be right back, right? Yeah. Welcome back. Mko salama? I hope you're doing good, right? Still doing good? Perfect. So are we. And to almost kuvuka international borders, ndio tuangalie international news. But before then, and this is not good news at all. This is not good news. Hey, imagine 880 million Kenya shillings ilikuwa imedispersiwa to Kenyan universities, 32 Kenyan universities, and the parliament is actually looking at that case, because this 880 million is actually a waste because it has been disbursed wrongly. So, first of all, let us start with the way, especially these first years have been suffering. But they honestly, in many universities, I know first years have been suffering because there is no longer a government sponsorship. Acha kama when you go government sponsorship, lazima sijui this long process of sijui ku apply what. Kitambo, wewe bora umeandikwa wewe ni government sponsored, it's okay. You will just be paying probably ikienda sana 20,000 per semester. Na unasoma 2 semesters, right? Na labda wenye wame defer in some universities, ndio labda in their last ama the extra year, now 5th year, ndio labda watalipa extra 100 or something of the sort. But now, says universities per sem unalipa wewe na mtu mwenye ameingia ama parallel, the way we call it, hakuna difference kubwa. And you're wondering, mbona sisi tusoma hivi so much? And then manze mnakuja kutufanyia hivi. It's not okay. And now there has been that case. Now 880 million. 880 million. Can you imagine? Imagine ati imedisbursiwa wrongly. Now the parliament ati wanachunguza to see how that money can be refunded. How? Imagine, it's just like me giving you 1,000 shillings wrongly, and then now I expect you to return it to me. How? Okay, you might, but the process will be too much. First of all, I've used the transaction cost. There's a lot of stress around that, and we've used more resources to try to trace that money back. Anyway, poleni. But according to the parliament, so that 2 universities were given money wrongly, money that were not supposed to be given to them. So this happens, it's either a student mwenye ako private, like anajilipia mwenyewe amepewa do. Okay, and of course the universities wakipokea pesa si wanazipocket. Secondly, especially like it is seen, you see the government sponsored students who go to private universities, and it's okay, very okay. Something like Mount Kenya University, St. Paul, iko tu sawa, we have no problem with that. But the auditor, the general auditor of the government, has not even once gone to this university these universities to know this money that has been given to them by the government, how are they using it? Are the students getting the help that they're supposed to get? So kuna hiyo kesi. First of all, general auditor hajai audit hizi pesa zinaendaga wapi, so there is no accountability about this money. That's the first thing. Secondly, there were people like students wenye walipewa do and they were shamaliza. Like unapata wao ulisoma 4 years na bado pesa zako zinapatianwa huko. Okay? Wengine wanateseka, by the way, these first years hawana pesa, kumbe kuna wengine wenye washamaliza labda hata wako ma jobs na pesa zao ati bado zimetumwa. And also the third thing, kuna wengine wenye wanapewa duplicate. For example, Vivian Kabono amepewa 20,000 huku juu, alafu tena Vivian Kabono tena huku chini tena amepewa 20,000. Na unajua hata azikuji kwa Vivian Kabono, if Vivian Kabono studies in where? Mount Kenya University or Karatina University, inaenda kwa Karatina University. Really now? That's not okay. Until now they're saying, because it was 17 universities, there's 17 and other, like around 17 universities were given almost 21 million. Around, these figures are too huge for you even to be like, unapigwa na shock, like, what? Where is this money going? By the way, it's not okay. Because first of all, let us look at this. Kumekuwa pia na kesi yenye MPs wataongezwa mshahara, right? Let us not go to the taxes. There's housing tax, there's I don't know which tax, taxes everywhere. Okay, we're glad the dollar has dropped at least, but that happened after the Kenyan government had to buy dollars, right? Okay, so it's not like it happened naturally. We had to take a massive action to go back to rates the dollars and everything for our shilling not to lose coins and not to lose value. But MPs wanaongezwa mshahara, pesa zinapatianwa wrongly, ni kama kumwaga maji alafu unaexpect tutaweza kuchota hiyo maji ama maziwa. It cannot happen. Mtu akiacha maziwa kwa gas ati the maziwa ina boil alafu you overboil. There's no way tutasema hiyo maziwa itarudi. Honestly, you cannot give people funds and then you expect them to return. Hata wakirudisha haitarudi kwa 880. So honestly, that is a massive failure. My heart cries out for the first years and those people joining universities. Can you imagine? Kama hiyo venye nilisema kitambo ilikuwa mtu unapata 20,000 per semester. 20,000 ilikuwa inalemea watu wengine. Sasa hizi mkilipa sijui 70,000, hiyo ndio itasaidia watu. And the first thing for the economy to grow is educating our people, because the longest time, the reason why most people in the country suffer is because of ignorance and arrogance that comes without education. Okay, so but anyway, acha kwanza tuachane mambo ya Kenya. Let us cross over to our neighbors hapa Somalia people. Somalia people, by the way, wametulia. In fact, there has been, like, we have known Somalia and Sudan, those countries, we know them for fight, but by the way, Somalia, they've been really good, like really cool. And not to forget that Somalia has the largest coastline in Africa. By the way, the whole of Africa. I think that's why it's called the Horn of Africa. You remember, was it in social studies where we had to draw the map and everything? So Somalia, Apoka, Horn of Africa. It holds the largest coastline. So they have signed a deal with Turkey for 10 years and Turkey will help them in economy and security purposes. It's a very, very good deal. It was the President Hassan Sheikh Mohammed, who was saying that they have signed a good deal, and Turkey are like brothers. You know, Somali people and Muslims wanapenda kuitana brother, you feel me? So Turkey people are their brothers, and they are willing to work and to be okay with them. Actually, Turkey said that they will empower the Somali Navy guys and the soldiers to ensure that they are very strong and the security around the place is top notch. Very, very good. And this happens after Somalia and Ethiopia, their neighbors, signed a contract on how they can access. Now, like the Ethiopia people, Ethiopia is a landlocked country, so they made a deal on how Ethiopia could access the Red Sea via Somalia, and I think they were to give part of the coastline to the Ethiopia, so that at least Ethiopia can also have access to the Red Sea. But this was on a condition that Ethiopia would accept that there is part of Somaliland and actually accept and say that it is okay. Like Somalia owns part of the Somaliland. So the deals are continuing. And by the way, after this, there was a bit of tension after Turkey signed the deal, because it was mostly in the forces. And the Somalia people said that our deal is purely for the good of us, and we do not plan to harm any country. We and Ethiopia, though the deal has not been finished, we are in very good terms, and we do not mean to harm, or we do not have any intentions of harming the Ethiopia people. So very, very good. And by the way, Somalia wamekuwa wakisaidika sana, because US, especially when it comes to the forces, US had also signed a deal with them to establish 5 these bases, military bases, 5 military bases, and they were to train around 3,000 Somalia soldiers, and actually most of them have already finished their training. So yeah, Somalia people will get some US based training, and that is so well. So I'm glad that Somalia are doing so well, and I'm happy for them. Now Pia Ethiopia, I'm lucky, I'm happy. I mean, they're doing the deal, at least they will be able to access the Red Sea, because actually being a landlocked country, it's not as much advantage as we kama sisi ya Kenya wenye tuko na the coastline, because you see a lot happens in the coastline, especially for the shipping and everything. For example, like you see, like hata Uganda wakitaka kupata things from outside the country, they have like to go through Kenya. Okay, it's good for us because it makes the business better, but for the landlocked countries it's quite unfortunate. But wenye tunasemanga Mungu hawezi kukupea kitu yenye huwezi handle, na washazoea for the longest time possible, so it's okay. But kama unaweza access, kama kuna venye sijui hata Uganda wapitisha ka bridge wako wana access Indian Ocean, but we don't have a big coastline, so I don't think that will be possible. Anyway, to our last story of the day, and we're crossing over international. So the police have been looking for 2 missing persons. So these people are a red carpet presenter, his JC, and his boyfriend Luke Daniel. Let me call it Luke Davis. I mean, so Luke Davis was a flight attendant, and they have been missing for a very long time. Not a very long time as such, but they missed on Monday, and the family reported the case, reported them missing. The person of interest here is JC mostly. So the family reported that JC is missing on 20th of February. So we don't know where they are, and this happened after there was some clothes that were found. I will say luggage. JC's luggage was found in a bin like 30 kilometers from his home, and this is what raised concern. Why is his clothes here? This raised concern, and then they went to the house 30 kilometers from the scene, only to find a large pool of blood, and that is when the house was declared a crime of crime. A scene of crime. So that after they found a very large pool of blood, and they have been missing. Actually, since Monday, he has not reported to work. So Jesse is a former red carpet reporter, and he has worked on kids show. He's a great news anchor, and he was dating this boyfriend of his, and they seem to be okay, but now they're missing. And other than the case, other than the large pool of blood, other than that, the most concern is, where is he? Because even the police are saying, and the family is that they're actually concerned for his safety more than this case, because they do not know. I don't think there's any person who has been reported missing. He's not necessarily a suspect in a big crime or something. So they want to know where is this pool of blood. But what I am hoping is that Davis and JC might be found, and they will be okay, because Atacama, they have committed any crime, the first thing is that they are alive. By the way, even according to our law, and this is actually an international law, right to life, even if you're the biggest serial killer, even Jeffrey Dahmer himself. You know the story of Jeffrey Dahmer? Have you watched the movie? It's traumatizing, but yeah, it's quite a nice one. So even if you're the greatest criminal, you deserve a right to life, unless if you have committed a big one, and you're not supposed to be murdered by the mob judges. It's supposed to go through the court for them to say, okay, sawa sasa wewe, you have committed this crime and we will convict you to death. Okay, and it doesn't happen as much in Kenya, labda as the other countries, but I hope that JC and Davis are found and they will be safe, and I hope they will be okay. Yeah, for them to continue with their relationship. According to their photos online, they seem to be very in love, and love wins, doesn't it? Anyway, thank you so much, dear viewer, for my dear Aki asante for staying tuned until this point. I mean, nimekutolea kofia yenye sina, but thank you so much. Kindly check us out, subscribe, like, share on our YouTube channel at NewsunplugKE. We also have a website where you can see like the stories that have been trending and everything now in print form. They're amazing, trust you me. Amazing. So go check it out at newsunplug.co.ke. In your Facebook, in your Twitter, TikTok, everywhere. We go across all social media platforms. And for more personal interaction, just hit me up and check me out across all social media platforms as well at VivyKabz, VIVY space KABZ. Do have a blessed week. Until next time, thank you.